Good morning, dear students, and today our focus will be on meiosis. Meiosis. As we have already discussed mitosis yesterday, and today we will have a comparative study about mitosis and meiosis, and what are the significance of these both type of divisions. So, first we take the mitosis. So, mitosis, as you all know, that it takes place in somatic cells. Somatic cells. It means body cells. So, what is the result of this mitotic division in somatic cells? Due to this division, the size in the size of the body increases. Body increases in size. As you know that plants grow to from their apical portion. Suppose this is the shoot and this is the root. So the shoot and root apical meristems, what type of division, cell division takes place at the apices of root and shoot, that is mitosis. And due to this mitotic division, the plants grow in length, that is known as primary growth, and these plants also grow in girth, in its thickness, that is secondary growth, and that is also due to mitotic division. So, mitotic divisions takes place for the increase in the number of cells, increase in the size of the body of an organism, and you all know that a number of cells always every day new cells are forming in our body, and old cells are dying, such as we take an example of RBC. You all know that the lifespan or lifetime of RBC cells is 120 days. After every 120 days, new RBCs are formed and old RBCs dies. So what happens if RBC cells die after every 120 days? So new RBC cells are produced by the mitotic divisions. So there are similarly human sperms have the survival time of 3 days, and neurons, particularly in brain cells, have a survival for lifetime. And so mitosis takes place for the repair of damaged tissue, for the repair of damaged tissues and cells in any organism's body. So mitosis has not to take any place, any part in reproduction. However, the bacteria, as you know, the unicellular prokaryotic organism bacteria, it divides by binary fission, and that is also a mitotic division, because bacteria is haploid, so definitely there is no possibility of meiosis. So in bacteria the cell divides into two, and that is similar to the mitotic division. So what is the, and where these meiosis takes place? Meiosis takes place in reproductive cells, that is those cells those take part in sexual reproduction. So here we will take the difference between mitosis and meiosis. These terms, homologous pairing, we have not discussed it in mitosis. Similarly, crossing over, chiasmata formation, we have not discussed these terms in mitosis, but these terms we will discuss in meiosis. And what are the difference between mitosis and meiosis, we will study one by one. So first of all, if this particular cell, if this particular cell is 2n, that is diploid, this particular cell can act as a mother cell and may undergo for mitosis as well as meiosis, because meiosis can take place only in diploid cells. But what if this mother cell is only haploid, then only mitosis will take place and meiosis will not take place. It means in a haploid cell mitosis can take place but meiosis cannot take place. So here, if suppose this is a diploid mother cell and this cell is ready for cell division. This cell is ready for cell division. Here we take the example of a diploid cell because we can explain that a diploid cell can undergo both for mitosis and meiosis. So if this mother cell is undergoing for mitosis, so yesterday we have discussed that a mitosis has 4 or 5 phases such as prophase, metaphase, metaphase and telophase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. So we know that if this mother cell is undergoing cell division, definitely its genetic material, whatever the genetic material this cell contains initially, has now become doubled. So it means now this chromatin fiber starts condensation and appears in separate chromosome. These are 2 separate chromosomes, and every chromosome, each chromosome has its identical copy because duplication of chromosomes takes place. So both chromosome has their identical copy attached at the centromere along the entire length of the chromosome. So in prophase the condensation takes place, condensation of chromosomes takes place. In metaphase all chromosomes with their identical copy comes at the center of the cell, at the equatorial plate of the cell. In anaphase the spindle fiber formation takes place and the one copy of each chromosome moves towards the opposite pole. And in telophase separate nuclear membrane formation takes place around every set of the chromosomes, and thus this cell divides into 2 daughter cells, and both the cell have the identical genetic material or the genetic material in equal quantity as the genetic material present in the initiating cell or initial mother cell. So this is the mitosis, but how it is different from meiosis, or we can say how meiosis is different from mitosis. So here, if this particular mother cell is now undergoing for meiosis, so definitely its genetic material has become doubled, and this meiosis has 2 separate phases. We can differentiate this meiosis into steps. This is meiosis first and this is meiosis second. In meiosis first there are also 4 steps just like in mitosis, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Similarly, in meiosis second has prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. So what is the difference between prophase of meiosis first and prophase of meiosis second. So for to not get confused, we also place prophase first after every step. Prophase first because it is the part of meiosis first, metaphase first, anaphase first, and telophase first. Similarly, prophase second of meiosis second, metaphase second, anaphase second, and telophase second. Is it clear? Now, what happens? This cell, which is ready for meiosis, its genetic material has become doubled. So, first, this mother cell will divide just like the mitosis. So, in prophase, this is the longest step of the meiosis first, and it is divided in a number of steps such as leptotin, zygotin, pectine, diplotin, dikinesis. Various activities takes place in prophase first. This is the longest phase, and in metaphase, the chromosomes come at the equatorial plate, and ultimately it gives rise to two cells, just like the mitosis. Now these two cells act as the mother cell for meiosis second. These two daughter cells, which are just produced by meiosis first, act as a mother cell for meiosis second. Now you should keep it in mind that these mother cell will not pass another interphase condition. It means the genetic material which has been doubled in the initiating cell, the first cell, now the genetic material will not become double. It has become doubled already. So one by one we will study about the various steps of the mitosis first. And mitosis first has the prophase first, and prophase first has a number of steps, as I have told to you, that leptotin, zygotin, pectine, diplotin, and dikinesis. What actually happens here in prophase first of meiosis, the chromosome condensation takes place. Chromosome condensation takes place. Chromosomes condense, and the homologous chromosomes, now the term is homologous chromosomes, pairing takes place. So now what is this homologous pairing? As you know that every cell is produced by the fusion of male and female gametes, and every gamete has haploid set of chromosomes. Suppose these are the gametes of human cells, human being. So this particular male gamete will have 23 chromosomes, and this female gamete will have also 23 chromosomes, and both the gametes, when they mix together, they form a diploid cell called zygote, and they restore the diploid number, that is 46. That is the normal chromosome number present in our cell. So you know these 46 chromosomes can be grouped in a pair like manner. So we have 23 pairs. So if this is pair first, so total 2 chromosomes are there in first pair. Similarly, we may have 23 pairs. The last pair is chromosome X and Y. That is the sex chromosome, or XX in female and XY in male. This is the last pair of chromosomes for human beings. So if this is the first pair of chromosome, so both the chromosomes, those are identical in genetic makeup, identical in genetic information, identical in thickness. They come close together. They come close together and form a pair. This is known as bivalent. This is known as bivalent. Homologous pairing. This is known as homologous pairing. So if this chromosome is originated from mother cell, definitely this will be from father cell. So here this is a homologous pairing, because now let us have an example of homologous pairing. Suppose we represent this pair here. This is first chromosome and this is second chromosome of homologous pairing, pair first. This is centromere. This is the short arm, long arm of the chromosome. One chromosome descended from maternal parent, another chromosome from paternal parent, and suppose this particular region of this chromosome has a genes for a particular character. Similarly, this particular region of this another chromosome has gene for same character. Both the genes may be of same or different, such as if this is the dominant gene for a particular character, this particular region may also have the same gene or it's another copy. So when both the locus have the capital A, it means this is the homozygous condition of genes. Similarly, if this is another locus and here this is gene B and gene B for a particular character, so we can say that these chromosomes are homozygous for a particular gene. And this is the another locus. Suppose this is capital C and this locus is small c. So here it is also heterozygous condition. Or so now you have got an idea that homologous chromosomes bears genes for same character. Same characters means if we take an example of hair color, so we take two hair color, black and white. So if this A gene, that is dominant form of gene A, is responsible for black color of the hair, similarly this A may be responsible for white color of the hair, but black color will be produced because A is dominant and small a is recessive. But if the same locus of another homologous chromosome has also the identical copy of gene, definitely this is the homozygous condition and the hair color will be black in both cases. So homologous chromosomes are those chromosomes, those are same in genetic makeup, almost same, not exactly same, almost identical in nucleotide sequences, almost identical in gene constituents, and so these homologous chromosomes come together and starts pairing in lactoprotein. Now The homologous chromosomes, you already know that every chromosome has its identical copy, replicated copy. So these homologous chromosome, every chromosome has its identical copy known as sister chromatids. So here this is one sister chromatid and this is another sister chromatids. So when this homologous pairing formation takes place, now the exchange of genetic information, exchange of genetic information takes place between homologous chromosomes. So this chromosome, if it is originated from parental gamete and this homologous chromosome originated from maternal gamete, so this and this are the non-sister chromatids for each other. So there may be an exchange of genetic information and chromosomes forms a chiasma or a cross-like structure. Cross-like structure may formation may take place, and what happens that this particular segment of chromosome may be translocated to this particular region, and this part of this above chromosome may come and attach as the lower chromosome. So there is the exchange of genetic information between homologous chromosomes, and these exchange or crossing over formation or bivalent formation or synaptonymal complex or chiasma formation, all these process takes place in bacchitin, diplotin and up to dikinesis. This exchange of genetic information between homologous chromosomes completes the prophase first through these steps. Now the metaphase first, and how? So this is a cell. Now exchange of genetic information has taken place between homologous chromosomes. Now all homologous chromosomes arrange at the equatorial plate of the cell. Here we take example of only one pair of chromosome for the simplicity to explain. Now this centrosome or centromere at the opposite pole starts formation spindle fiber, and this is a homologous pair. What happens in now the anaphase? In anaphase condition, this spindle fiber contracts and drag or pull one complete chromosome of a homologous pair. Listen very carefully. This is a homologous pair. So this particular chromosome along with its sister chromatid, this particular chromosome moves towards one pole, and this complete chromosome with its identical copy, that is sister chromatids, moves to another pole. Whereas in case of mitosis, what happened? We observed that in mitosis these sister chromatids start separation. Both the sister chromatids start separation, and one copy of this chromosome moves towards one pole and another sister chromatid towards another pole. Similarly for this chromosome. But in case of meiosis, here first of all homologous pairing takes place, and second that this complete copy along both the copy of the same chromosome moves completely with its sister chromatid towards one pole, and this complete chromosome with its identical copy towards another pole. So if there are 23 pairs of homologous chromosomes such as in human cells, what we will observe that 23 chromosomes will move at one pole and rest 23 chromosomes will move at another pole. Now listen carefully that here we call it that the haploid cell has produced, but actually these are not haploid cells, because though this is the number 23, but every chromosome has its own or has its identical copy. So the total number of chromosome is however 23, but the total amount of DNA is equivalent. That is, if these are 23 chromosomes, separately 23 chromosomes of homologous pair, and every chromosome has its identical copy, so 23 into 2 is equal to 46. So 46 chromosomes are still in one cell, and similarly 46 chromosomes in another cell. So on the basis of the type of chromosomes, these cells has become haploid, but on the basis of the number of chromosomes, these cells are still diploid. So this happens in anaphase, that is the separation of homologous chromosomes towards opposite pole. So the why the sister chromatids does not separate in anaphase first of meiosis, however sister chromatid separates in anaphase step of mitosis. Why it happens? It is due to a particular protein that is known as sugosine. This particular protein binds to the condensin complex. Condensin is the protein complex that is required for the condensation of chromosomes at the equator, at the centromere, and towards the entire length of the chromosome. This condensin protein is released by separase enzyme. We have already discussed this separase enzyme, but whenever this sugosine protein is present, it hinders, it block the activity of the separase enzyme on condensin complex. That's why the condensin protein is not released, is not replaced, is not released, and as a result of which both the sister chromosomes still remain attached together and move as a single unit towards the one pole. This is the reason that why the sister chromatid separation does not take place in meiosis, however it takes place in mitosis. So in anaphase condition, half number of chromosomes, that is 23 chromosomes with their identical copy, moves towards one pole, and similarly 23 chromosomes with their identical copy moves towards another pole. And now at telophase, the nuclear membrane starts formation around the separated chromosomes at opposite pole. Now here we can say that this particular cell that has started dividing through meiosis, now it has reached to the telophase, and we have two cells. And if this dividing cell was of a human cell, human genetic reproductive cell. So now we have two cells, and this cell has 23 chromosomes, this has also 23 chromosomes, but every chromosome has its sister chromatid attached with it. So now these two daughter cells act as a mother cell for meiosis second, and meiosis second is just like the mitosis. So what happens? Similarly, this mother cell follow all the steps of mitosis, such as prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So 23 chromosomes are there, and we can represent this one chromosome out of the 23 chromosomes. So here in meiosis second, the prophase second of meiosis second, spindle formation takes place at the opposite pole, and these are the spindle fibers, and one copy of these two sister chromatids moves towards one pole and another copy at the another pole. So if these are 23 chromosomes and every chromosome has its identical copy attached with it, definitely 23 chromosome will be moved at one pole and their identical copy at another pole. Similarly, for this cell, 23 chromosomes move at one pole and another set of the same chromosome at another pole. So at the completion of meiosis, we will have four cells, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and each cell will have a total chromosome of 23, and these chromosomes will have or may have different in genetic information, because in meiosis first, exchange of genetic information has taken place between homologous chromosomes through homologous pairing. So this is all about the meiosis. So if any query you arise, I will try to answer, and if you have come to know about the mitosis, there should be no problem for you to understand the meiosis. Thank you.